14, one was 15. They both thought they were adults and could do adult things and didn't have to listen to me. Their older sibling was on a date with their boyfriend at the time, and these 15-year-old cousins that I was put in charge of, I told them, hey, I have to stay with you at all times because you are my responsibility, and your sister and her boyfriend have left me in charge of you while they are out on a date. So I am responsible for your asses, which means that if I tell you stay here, you stay here. If I tell you you cannot go over there, you cannot go over there. And you need to listen to the adult that is giving you advice instead of ignoring the adult who's giving you advice and has been put in charge of taking care of you. Well, these 15-year-olds and 14-year-olds did not want to listen to me. Instead, they thought, oh, I don't have to listen to you because you're 5 foot nothing and you have the intimidation level of a Kirby eating a vacuum. Okay, so my 15 and 14-year-old cousin at the time basically were like laughing at me while I said this, rolled their eyes and walked off. I didn't know where the fuck they went, so I'm freaking out. I go up to their older sister and her boyfriend, and I'm like, hey, yeah, your younger sister and her cousin, yeah, they just walked off and I can't find them. The older sister was like, what do you mean you can't find them? I told them they needed to listen to what I said because you put me in charge. They rolled their eyes at me and they walked off. Are you fucking serious right now? Yes. Because if you have not seen, your sister is 5'10". I am 5 foot. Her cousin is literally 5'3". I am 5 foot. I don't intimidate them. Okay? Well, can you go find them and let me know where they are? Okay, sure. So I go to find them. And I do. I find them in the other building, which is like the main events hall at this convention. I find them. This 14-year-old and 15-year-old are talking to a guy. And I don't know this guy's age. This guy looks roughly around my age at the time. So I go and I walk up to him because the 15-year-old and 14-year-old are rubbing all over this guy. Rubbing, you know how like whenever people of feminine persuasion do the whole thing where they place their hand on the shoulder and they rub the hand down the shoulder and they do the whole little smirk and like the whole batting the eyelashes thing while they're touching their fingers lightly down your shoulder and brushing you off with like one leg over your leg kind of thing. That is what they were doing to this guy, the 14-year-old and 15-year-old. So I approached this guy and I'm like, hey, you guys need to like stop what you're doing, and you don't need to be doing that to the guy. Do you even know his age? Like sir, how old are you? This guy looks at me, chill, it's fine, they're fine, I'm fine. I'm 32. Excuse me? You're how old? 32. Oh, really? Really now? You're 32. Okay, I will be right back because I'm supposed to be in charge of them. So I go and I find the older sister and my friend that was with them at the time as well, and her boyfriend. So I walk up to them And I'm like, hey, I found your sister and their cousin, and they're hanging out with a 32-year-old man over near main events, and they're rubbing all over him and flirting with him. And he is enjoying it. And everyone got really, really upset. And I'm like, yeah, just that's understandable that everyone's getting upset. And they told me, can you take us to them? So I did. I took them to them. And next thing I know, my friend walks up to him and goes, hey, you need to get the fuck off them, and they need to get the fuck off you, and you guys need to back the fuck off each other, because, sir, how old are you? 32? And you know how old they are? Well, no, I didn't ask their age, but they look old enough. Sir, they are 14 and 15. Wait, are you serious? They're 14 and 15? They're really tall for their age. I didn't think they were 14 and 15. And we all looked at them like, look, you either need to get the fuck out of here and leave the two kids alone, or we're literally going to tell the con staff that you, a 32-year-old man, were groping on some 14 and 15-year-olds. And he backed off, and he like did the whole thing where he puts his hands up and backs away kind of thing. And the 14-year-old and 15-year-old rolled their eyes at us, gave that like kind of huffing thing that they do, where they're like pouting and upset like a spoiled child does. And they're like, why did you do that? We were gonna try and like flirt with him. No, we're gonna go back to the hotel and get ready to leave and go home. I'm gonna be driving your ass home, and you're gonna be riding in my car with me. You're not going to be in the same car as your older sibling or her boyfriend or my friends. You're gonna be in my car. And I have a few things to say to you before we get home. So we get in the car after all the convention stuff's over. They're still upset and acting like spoiled brats. And I start talking to them, and I try telling them, look, you are 14 and 15. That does not mean you can do whatever the fuck you want. That does not mean you are a grown-ass adult. That does not mean you can flirt with grown-ass adults. It is dangerous for you to do that. You could have gotten hurt. He could have hurt you. You could have hurt him. You could have put him in jail. You could have gotten in serious trouble. You could have gotten pregnant. You could have ended up in situations that wouldn't have been good. And not only that, but the way that you guys were interacting, he could have like raped you, and you would have had to live with that the rest of your life. You would have been traumatized, and you would have been through a whole bunch of shit that I've gone through, and I don't want to see you go through shit that I had to go through or that I didn't want to go through. Like, I understand you're young, you're kids, you don't know any better, or you think you can trust everyone that's an adult. You can't. And I'm telling you, you can't trust every adult you see. You can't trust that everyone has the best intentions for you, or that you can flirt with just about anyone. I tell you these things for your safety, because I don't want to see you get sexually assaulted. I don't want to see you end up getting severely hurt because you thought you were adult enough to go and start flirting with fucking adults. You are a child. You are 14 and 15, and you will remain a child until you have reached over 18. And even then, you're not fully an adult until you're 25. So don't try inserting yourself into adult situations when you are a child, because you are a child. And you need to enjoy your childhood, enjoy being a kid, enjoy being able to go to school and enjoy childish things, and enjoy not having the responsibility that adults have to have when you are an adult. And just enjoy being a kid. Don't try to make yourself an adult before you're an adult. It is okay to be mature at times, but do not try to approach adults with the intentions that you are also an adult. You are not an adult, and that is very gross. It is very not okay. To which I had to stop and pull over the car because I started to basically get upset enough while I was driving that I started swerving, and my friends called me and told me, "Hey, you need to pull over. We're a little bit worried about you driving." And so I pulled over, they pulled over, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I told them, "I'm trying to explain to your cousin and younger sibling that what they did was stupid, that what they did was wrong, that I am concerned about their safety, and that they didn't need to be doing shit like that in a convention, and I will no longer be taking them to any conventions in the future." They've already broken my cosplays that I spent months on, and even broke cosplays I had custom ordered from Japan that took months to get here, broke those before the convention, and then on top of that decided they could go off on their own at a convention and not have to be responsible for their actions, and that they didn't have to listen to adults. Yeah, no, I am not taking anyone like that to a convention ever again, and they will not be allowed back in my house ever again. And my cousin basically didn't talk to me for a while after that. Their siblings were upset because apparently I hurt their feelings and that I seemed too aggressive because I was concerned about safety. You leave me in charge of them. How am I not supposed to act like a parental figure if you're leaving me in charge to be a parental figure? Like, I'm not a parent. I'm not. But if I'm given the sole responsibility of having to take charge and be put in that role, I will do my damnedest to be a parental figure. Sure, I could have gone about it a better way of explaining that what you did was very not safe and not smart, but it was very, very emotional for me. And I was very, very concerned about safety. They could have gotten hurt, and it would have been my fault that they got hurt because they walked off and I was held responsible for taking care of them. It would have been my fault. But yeah, I think it was a year after that convention, I was still missing the cosplays that they borrowed. And so I called up my cousin. I'm like, "Hey, whatever happened to the cosplays that I let your sister and your cousin borrow?" "Oh, those? They got kind of torn and stuff. And so we kind of just threw them away and burned them." "You did what?" "Well, yeah, whenever they went to go take the cosplays off, they started ripping and tearing and stuff. And so, we thought they were trash. And we just decided since they were already ripped and torn, we're just gonna dispose of them anyways." And again, I was like, you do realize one of those cosplays, I spent 3 months custom making, custom tailoring, and making a replica of Vanellope von Schwitz from Wreck-It Ralph for me to wear eventually at a convention. And I didn't get to wear it at a convention because your cousin got to wear it to a convention before me. And you're saying that that cosplay got trashed and burned? What about the Lolita dress that I made? What happened to that? "Oh yeah, that just, we thought it was not okay, and we thought you were actually giving it to our cousin, so she just decided she was gonna burn it because she was upset that you wouldn't let her come back to a convention." Are you kidding me? I used custom satin fabric for that